Good viewers, welcome to the CUMSA DPEQ project, where today we are going to be doing a presentation in commemoration with the Nigerian 59th Independence Celebration. And I'm Honorable Dede Oputamuno Gilbert.
And I'm Honorable Okocha Chinedu Victor.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much, sir. So today we are going to be having a very important discourse, which is multi-diversity in our cultural heritage, a blessing or a curse.
Okay.
And
So, very quickly, let's just get to it. So first and foremost, what is this topic all about? It's just basically about a system, a geographical setting where different ethnic groups coexist within that geographical setting. So moving on to the advantages or the pros of this system. Number one, a harnessable population. Exactly. Like I said, if you look at a country of Nigeria, a country of conservatively 200 million people, and that creates a manpower resources. So when it comes to human resources, a country like Nigeria is blessed. Other countries such as India, China, they are blessed with human resources. And the advantage of this will be tourism. Because of our various cultural heritages, the foreigners would always come to witness this during our cultural displays, our carnivals, and our fanfare.
Those are important advantages.
Important advantages of this,
which can even generate income for the state.
Which is actually our next point.
Exactly. In fact,
economic growth due to tourism. Understand?
In fact, there is even beauty in diversity. When you have diverse cultures coming together, you get, it's just like the coat of different colors. You get which actually like different colors coming together. At the end of the day, it makes a very beautiful color.
Garment.
So that's what we're talking about. So like the diversity in our cultural heritage is supposed to be a blessing rather than a curse, because there are many things we stand to always get because of the fact that we have diverse cultures within our country. And as you already mentioned, population. In fact, population is you have different economies in the world where the large population they have is what drives the economy. You get where they have increased SME projects. A country like China has about 52% of their GDP contributed from the SMEs, and these SMEs are actually fueled by the increased population they have, which gives them good manpower. But that's not the case in Nigeria.
But we'll get to that shortly. Another advantage we have due to this multicultural system is a rich historical background. For instance, when you look at Nigeria's history, look at the Nana of Opobo, the Oba of Benin, the Oba of Calabar. It creates a very rich cultural heritage, and it gives a very unique sense of identity amongst us. So you see that there are several advantages that exist to a multicultural system which we might not be able to take. Now, what are the issues that arise from this thing? One of the major issues that would arise from a multicultural system will be strife among the various ethnic groups.
In fact, one of the major issues that occurs within our country in itself is the fact that the different ethnic groups sees themselves as being different
rather than being one. So this creates a situation where there's strife and unhealthy rivalry amongst them. For instance, the issues of intercommunal clashes, tribalism, nepotism, and these are issues that might arise when.
In fact, I really think before we go into the issues that will arise, I think we need to buttress on the facts and strengthen our argument that even if we divide our country into the southern and northern part, we are still not going to arrive at the genuine Nigeria which we see ourselves. Because the reason why people are advocating that we divide our country to the northern and southern part is because of the fact that they feel the northerners see themselves as different as the southerners. But even within a particular state, different local government within that state still sees themselves as different within themselves, and that's very bad. So it means even if you make that state a country, they are still going to be having a lot of strife, and I think that's what we are going to be addressing at the issues
that arise. So like we said before, strife amongst different ethnic groups, this is bound to occur in a multicultural system when it is not properly managed. Different ethnic groups will want to compete with themselves and in an unhealthy environment. Right? And another issue that would arise when multicultural system is overriding of the minority, because the majority, a population that constitutes the majority, will tend to, because of their number, they can override the minority, which is wrong.
In fact, that's a major point, because when the majority keeps being in power, the minorities will start having an indignant feeling towards the majority, and that will even bring about different problems. In fact, we have different countries where most of the strife and grievances that was actually initiated by virtue of the fact that these minorities are seeing themselves as different from the government in itself, and that even brought about a lot of problems. So that's the point.
In some cases, it has led to civil war in Nigeria in the past.
Exactly.
Now, another issue that would arise from a multicultural system will be when government policies tend to favor a particular set. Understand? For instance, laws that encourage free grazing, where grazing, for instance, what we have in Nigeria, that has led to clash between Fulani herdsmen and farmers.
Exactly.
So when government policies tend to favor a particular state, these are issues that arise.
And it needs to be given proper proper consent and proper management. Exactly. Because it's very important. By the time government policies, start favoring a particular sect and start favoring a particular ethnic extraction, it starts bringing about reasons why there should be strife and why strife should exist.
Yes.
You can imagine a Fulani president, making bringing about different laws that's actually going to promote grazing and not actually bringing about laws that will promote farming. Okay. And that's very, very bad because we are in
the South are predominantly
farmers.
So we view those laws as something that encourages these people and not our
simple. So we need to make laws. We need to make laws that is going to actually encompass all ethnic extraction.
On this, because of our time, one of the last issues that would arise from a multicultural system will be tribes not being effectively represented. Sure. For instance, when you look at the Nigerian Senate, you tend to have more senators coming from the north and from the south. You understand how we use it? So when we have something like that, it leads to a situation that is not favorable for everybody. So what is the way forward? Having exhausted points on the advantages of our multicultural system and the issues that arise. So what is the way forward?
I really think on the way forward. The way forward is actually something that is supposed to be something the Nigerian system endorses and adopts at this point where we're having our 59th independence. And I think one of the major ways we could try to remove about I think one of the major ways we can resolve these issues is by proper education. By the time we actually educate the public and educate citizens about the fact that different people, even people in different ethnic extractions, are still one. Yes. Are still one like themselves. They start seeing themselves as brothers and sisters rather than people from a different ethnic extraction. I think it's very important.
So that's the first point. To have a proper understanding between these ethnic
and proper education.
Proper education too. So what we are basically saying that these ethnic groups, they need to be sensitized from their leaders down to the masses.
Exactly.
That first and foremost, for the fact that we are different ethnic groups doesn't make us different people. Simple. We are still the same in the sense that we are all Nigerians. We all have a common goal. If the Nigerian state fails, they don't see it as the Igbo field or the Hausa field. It's the Nigeria field. When you go outside the country, I don't think anybody would ask you what tribe are you from. They ask you what country are you from. And once you say you are in Nigeria, you share a common faith as your Hausa brethren, your Yoruba brethren, and your Igbo brethren. So what we have to understand, there has to be a proper understanding of this fact between the different groups. Proper education too. Education among and the tertiary education. That from the tertiary, secondary, primary school, we have to properly educate these people. Let us stop this idea of they are they and we are us. You understand? So we have to probably educate the people on the oneness of Nigeria.
Another thing I think is very important is at the leadership sector, at the leadership sphere of affairs, because people in different ethnic extractions actually have leaders who they actually listen to. So there needs to be a
consensus
proper
among leaders of this
exactly.
Yes.
And it's not just a forum where money is shared, but it should be a forum where nitty-gritties of the country is actually discussed. You get the way forward of the country is discussed, and another thing that can actually make us progress is through federalism, where every state, every ethnic actually manage their resources. A country like America has different states, and each state manage their resources and sets a quota to the federal government. You get, so that can be adopted by Nigeria, because I feel like one other thing I found that within personnel and human management, people tend to manage their resources better when they understand that if they don't manage the resources, they are going to pay for it. You get, that's why you know that okay, you need to sweep your house, because if you don't sweep your house, you have to stay in a dirty place. But if you are still in a government-owned area, you understand that even if you don't do it, the government will do it, and the person the government employs to do this particular task might even fail to do it. You get, so I really feel true federalism should be something that should be raised, and the banner should be raised high.
Apart from true federalism, we also recommend equal opportunity should be given to different ethnic groups for effective representation in government.
Exactly.
Each ethnic group should be able to elect their own leaders, competent leaders by the way,
correct,
to effectively make laws, and also free and fair elections. Elections within our country, Nigeria, should reflect the true mind of the people,
of the citizens.
It's
very important, because the about free and fair elections, people would definitely want to actually support the leaders who they feel merits the office. When you merit the office, everybody wants to give you their support, and you even have their mandates, and you have the empowerment
and the zeal to do more for the people.
Exactly,
so
and also to even do.
So there you have it, viewers. We've been able to explain to you that our multicultural system in Nigeria is a blessing, not a curse. It's not a problem that we have different tribes in Nigeria, because these different tribes in Nigeria can be harnessed to bring about economic growth, small and medium scale enterprise development. The issues that we have due to this multicultural system is due to mismanagement, government policies, and basically nepotism and corruption amongst our people. We have leaders in the country who tend to use our multicultural system as a means to divide us rather than unite us. Don't forget our watchword here that if the Nigerian state fails, it will not be on the tribes that are failed, to be a common destiny shared amongst everyone.
Exactly.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you again next time.
Thank you very much, sir.